What about any prevention education? Is there anything?
We're breaking the stigma, right? And there's no doubt about that. And you had just touched on that. So we've done amazing work at kind of chipping away at the stigma. Mm-hmm. But by chipping away at the stigma, we're encouraging kids to speak out. Yeah. And we're encouraging kids to engage and talk about their struggle. But do we have the right resources for them for when they reach out and when they struggle? So that's the challenging part, right? It's, we can encourage them to discuss it and talk about it. But when they do that, do we have the proper infrastructure in place to support them? Right. Hopefully, the administrators and the superintendents and so on and so forth throughout the country have enough foresight and they're planning for this. But, this pandemic has been difficult for every kid. And I'm sure just like anything else, it's been more difficult for some than others. But I do think it's gonna lead to a whole different set of problems when kids come back to school. Because let's be honest, for some children, school is their safe place.
100%, yeah.
Kids look forward to getting out of their home, and now kids are stuck in their home. Yep. So, education, prevention, that's my mission. That's what I want to see, and hopefully, in the next few years, hopefully in my lifetime, wellness will be a core class, and it will be, and it won't be such a taboo topic. It will be a priority rather than, an elective.
Right. 100% agree. And also this pandemic has been something like we've never been through, we've never seen. But what have you done for yourself during these last months to help your sobriety? So maybe others that are going through this can take your words of encouragement and kind of use that.
I do feel guilty somewhat, just because, with the opening of Herren Wellness, especially the one in Seacomp, we've been operating pretty much at full capacity throughout the whole pandemic. Right. So I'm very fortunate to be able to walk onto a property, and high five and hug and talk to people and spend time with people. So that connection has not been lost for me. Right. I'm still very, very connected in the recovery world, as far as in person, but also, at times, using Zoom, as a tool to be present and through the Herren Project and sitting in on virtual meetings and doing interviews. So, I've stayed very connected both ways, and I'm very fortunate for that.
I've heard you speak a number of times throughout the schools, and it's been riveting. One of the things that I took away a lot was your wife and how she went through that with you. Does she ever speak publicly or do anything about going through the journey of a loved one that's an addict?
So she's never spoke publicly. She's pretty private when it comes to that. I will say this, that, she's open in a sense where, she has helped many, and especially at Herren Wellness. She's never stepped out and did it publicly. She's works really hard and is obviously a very strong recovery advocate. And that's why it was such a huge addition to the Herren Project, family support groups. Definitely. Because, the family oftentimes are the ignored, and they deserve more, and they deserve their own path of recovery. Right. So it's such a big part of not only the Herren Project, but Herren Wellness is implementing, the family and their struggle, and putting both the person struggling and the family on the same path.